See, I don't know the date, but when my father was, when we took over, we didn't take over, we went and did a demonstration at the Carson National Forest, and I was there when another state police, Robert Gilliland, was there, and they started struggling. My father started struggling, and they pointed a gun at my father, a rifle, and they were going to shoot him. I can't remember that policeman's name, and the gun just, it misfired, it didn't go off. But they were going to shoot Grandpa, they already did, because they had reason to, you know. And I tell you, I noticed it was God's hand every time. Evans was his name. He wore like a Texas Ranger hat. And his gun misfired when he was going to shoot my dad, and I covered him. I hugged him. I said, Daddy, look. They were struggling for the guns, and all kinds of people in the middle, members of the dancing wall, a scuffle, what they call a scuffle. And when John Evans picked up the rifle, and he said,
Gillian? Yeah, Gilligan.
Okay, well, he's the one.
¿Era él DA?
Huh?
¿Él era DA?
No, Robert Gilliland was a state police.
State police, okay. What did he do?
I remember one of the other times when I went in the courtroom to see, I skipped school and I went in, and Robert Gilliland was on the witness stand, and it was my dad's turn to cross-examine him. He hated him, my dad with a purple passion. Boy, it came out so ugly, and he couldn't even hide it in front of the jury. He started saying, I'm going to kill you, Mr. Tijerina, I'm going to kill you. I never forget that. And here I am just watching from the benches, and in front of the whole jury, he started saying, I'm going to kill you. That just helped my dad's defense. That was another great...
Oh, thank you.
That's why that was another great hit in all those times I went to court. And oh God, I can remember about 2 or 3 other ones, incidents in that courtroom that were all, but I can't remember right now.
Yeah, I remember reading about that because he got him to admit that he hated Reyes. Got Gillian to admit that Gillian hated Reyes.
Yeah.
That was a key point.
Right in front of the jury just stayed, oh my God, what kind of state police gets on the stand and threatens somebody in front of the jury and says, I'm going to kill you, Mr. Gillian? What kind of smart cop does that? And another one was when another witness got Daniel Rivera. He was a sheriff deputy there at the courthouse during the so-called raid.
The arrest.
Yep. And he came up and said on the witness stand, I remember he was saying, no, Mr. Tijerina, believe me, I don't blame you for anything, Mr. Tijerina, I don't blame you for anything. And he was one of the ones that supposedly Baltasar Martinez kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I got to witness that when he was saying, I don't blame you for nothing, Mr. Tijerina, I don't blame you, I know you were trying your best for your people. Yes.
You did? ¿Usted también lo firmó?
Yes.
You too?
Sí, ahorita lo firmamos.
It was very interesting. Now you know why I had to keep ditching or cutting school. It was something else.
How old were you?
I was 15.
15.
Well, I saw OJ's trial. I didn't skip one day of OJ's trial. I get into this, but even OJ's trial was as interesting as my dad's. If I compare it.
Wow.
I wish you would have been. It was something. Never a boring moment.
What was the name of his attorney?
Which one? The one that
Not Cunster, the other one.
Bill Higgs?
What? Dale?
Bill Higgs?
Bill Higgs? No, the other one you mentioned.
Counselor wasn't.
His attorney.
Was he his attorney for a
You just
little
told me.
while?
Yeah, you told me right now earlier.
What up?
Dale?
Bill Higgs?
No, you told me another name earlier. No?
Lawyers. He defended himself.
No, but he had some lawyers.
He
Remember?
fired two of his lawyers, but I can't even remember their names.
No, you told me earlier. Remember, she told me the name of an attorney.
No.
I don't remember.
The one they compared Grandpa to.
Oh, Clarence Darrow.
Clarence Darrow. Okay,
Yes,
Clarence
he's
Darrow.
a great criminal.
Clarence Darrow.
You need a paper?
No, I got it.
Oh, that's
I think. Yeah, it's recorded. Yeah, Clarence Darrow. Interesting.
We should know where Clarence Darrow was from. He's a good history teacher.
Interesting. What about the attempts on like gunshots into the house, bombs? What do you remember of those?
I never was there when they threw the bomb where I was, because I was living with my mother, and my mom and my father were separated then. And I remember one of the times we were living in back of the telephone company. And there was an alley right between our apartment house, and they threw a bomb through our window. But my father didn't live with us. They still threw a bomb.
How old were you?
I was like right around that time, 16, 17 maybe.
So he did not live with you, and they still were terrorizing your family. Who was there when they threw the bomb?
My whole family, and we had my uncle visiting from Texas with all his 8 little children. When they threw the bomb, everybody, nobody was hurt, but everybody. My little cousins, they all got blasted into the next room. But nobody was hurt.
So bodies flew because of the explosion?
The window exploded. I think one of my cousins just got a full scratch of glass, flying glass. But the rest of the times it was always.
So that bomb was in your mom's house? Where was this, in Albuquerque? And they threw the bomb through the window?
A car passed by and they threw it through the window.
Could you explain everything, how you remember it? Explain how you remember it, what happened, what you
We were
saw.
all asleep. It's you wake up all in shock.
What time was it about?
I figure it was about 11:30.
And what do you remember? What happened?
Everybody just in shock. My uncle waking up, everybody waking up all in shock. I guess that's the way I picture in Iraq. That's what happens to those families. You just wake up all in trauma, shock. You don't know what's happening, what's going on. The glass all over. I do remember my little cousins, tiny little ones. They're the lightest ones that flew across to the next room. And they got glass shattered through them, but that little nobody was hurt. We called the police. They never did nothing. They broke in another time at our house. They were looking for something because they didn't take nothing. They just ransacked the whole house, the drawers, everything. We'd call the police. They would tell them, can't you take fingerprints? They wouldn't do nothing. It was part of my thing.
Part of the what?
If it's because they were involved. That's why how can they investigate their own selves.
Wow. What about the gentleman that, the bombing that they did on the Alianza building with the gentleman that blew his hand out? What did you hear
His
about?
name was William Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was the next state police, and He threw the dynamite. I don't know if it was a bomb. It was a bomb, or I don't know if it was dynamite sticks or a bomb. But he didn't throw it in time, and he blew his hand off. Pieces of the car flew all the way to 3 blocks to the park, everywhere around.
Pieces of what?
The car that blew up. That's when they blew up a car too. Right there at the Alianza.
The same night?
I don't know if it was the same man.
No, the same night?
Different.
But when they blew his hand out, what do you remember about that?
All I remember is that they found pieces of his hand all over the place. I remember the fire engines being all over the street for many, many hours, all up until the next day, collecting evidence, I guess. Pieces of his arm. I remember seeing a piece of his meat circled. I should laugh.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We need this. Interesting.
No, I remember seeing pieces of his arm where the police had circled it. I don't know why they were circling his pieces of arm.
And he was arrested? He was arrested?
No, he was taken to hospital. And later I heard that the judge just gave him a 30-day community service of sweeping the hospital. The judge said he had had enough punishment.
Incredible.
Injustices.
What about when they blew up the car? I saw the picture.
I remember that time we had just had a meeting, and I had just left, and I was at home when we got the phone call. We had all just listened.
By how many
Goodness,
minutes?
a meeting was over early or something, that everybody, I tell you, God was with us. God had his hand in it. I feel it so real that he had his hand in everything that we did.
Wow. So tell me again, the meeting was over sooner than it should have been? Tell me that.
Yes.
Tell me that.
Oh, yeah, what happened was the meeting was ended earlier than it was supposed to. And everybody left for home. And then when we got home, we got the phone call that there had been a big bomb in the car. And I guess my father was supposed to get in it or something. They had it all planned. They even had members planted in there to give out. We found out later there was all kinds of so-called members they would put in there.
You said the Alianza. Wow. This is incredible. So,
Yeah, it's like a boat thing.
¿Cómo está todo? ¿Les puedo traer la cuenta?